Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up chat, and I'm going to carry on fanning because it's quite hot in my centrally heated home. I've actually had no need for my log fire, my log and coal burning range this year. The heating has been really good. No snow yet here in the UK. Now, this video is going to have three parts. We are going to be talking about who was at Sandringham with the Queen this week, which is the first church Sunday service of 2019. We are also going to be talking about where Meghan may possibly choose to have her royal baby, baby Sussex, as the baby has come to be known, or babies, if you would believe the speculation that maybe it's twins. I still think it's one baby, not babies. I don't think we're going to see twinsies. And we're also going to be talking about what possible title baby Sussex may have. I've already spoken about that topic ages ago, but it seems to have reared its head again and taken on a lot of motion. And I have read a couple of articles where they've actually got some facts wrong. So I want to put the facts straight, so to speak. I'm going to go and find the chat room because, of course, I want to find all of you guys and see what you are all saying. I will try and read as many comments as I possibly can, but I'm afraid it's one of those videos where I have a couple of pages of notes. So I'm probably going to have to talk at you more than with you. So please forgive me. Also, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'll look at you in a second. Okay, I found the chat room. Hello to everybody. Please forgive me for the appalling title of this video. I literally had 3 different things to fit in a character box that only shows up of about 70. So I apologise for calling them Wills and Kate. I hate that. I hate abbreviating names, and I particularly hate Catherine being called Kate. So I do apologise, which is why I put it in quotation marks, because that's what people say, not me. But it did enable me to fit everything into the title. So this video is quite packed full of different bits and bobs. So I do apologise for the title. Please forgive me. I plead you. Cindy says, I love your crown. It is the papyrus tiara, which Catherine often wears, or rather that she sort of alternates with. Alicia says, please start with Meghan. Do you want to start with Meghan? we can take our pick. No, I'm going to start with Sandringham first. I'm sorry, but we will get to Meghan and Harry in a second. So, today is Sunday the 6th of January 2019, and it is the first Sunday service of 2019 for the Royals at Sandringham. Of course, every week whilst the Royals are at Sandringham, or even when they're at Balmoral, we see who is staying with the Queen, and it's always really interesting to find out. The church is St Mary Magdalene Church, which is only, I think, literally about 400-yard walk from the Sandringham estate. So today we saw the arrival of William and Catherine. We didn't see any of the royal children. I still think they're a little bit young to be taken to church, probably still a bit restless. And of course, William and Catherine do have a home in Norfolk, which is only about 2 miles away from the main Sandringham estate, called Anmer Hall. I'm sure you already know about this home. It is believed that pretty much William and Catherine have been staying pretty much in Anmer Hall, enjoying a family Christmas and a family New Year with the children and family, of course. So no engagements from William and Catherine as of yet. So what was, well, everyone's talking about Catherine's coat. It was a blue coat, which was last seen when she wore it in Norway, when she was pregnant with Prince Louis. It was in February last year of 2018. She accompanied it with a little new item, though, or rather, this new item is kind of taking off, I think. She's wearing lots of headbands, and she wore this kind of blue matching headband to go with this, if you can call it a recycled coat. I always find it a little bit funny when people say that they've recycled their clothing when it's literally probably the second public outing that she's worn this outfit, and yet it's classed as being recycled. I don't know. People will say anything. Anyway, the matching headband is apparently by... oh no, I think it was the coat. The coat was by Jane Taylor, I think. No, hang on a minute. Scrap that. My notes, I've put notes all over the place. The coat was Catherine Walker. The headband was Jane Taylor. Catherine Walker coat, Jane Taylor headband. Do you think the headbands are catching on? Are you wearing headbands? Would you wear one of the Cambridge headbands? Shall we call it the Cambridge headband? I don't know. But anyway, it is the first time that we have seen William and Catherine in public since they appeared for the Christmas Day service. There was no Duke of Edinburgh again. He has missed the past 4 services. A newspaper did contact the palace, and the palace has declined to comment, as they have the 3 previous times that they've been asking for comment. We did get a comment on Christmas Day. The palace did release a statement to say that the Duke of Edinburgh was going to miss the church service. However, there was nothing wrong health-wise. Now, they've commented once, and I don't think they're going to comment every single week on this matter. So I think we need to go by the first original comment, and that is basically that he has good health. Previous weeks, we've seen him out carriage driving pre-Christmas. So I think he's okay in terms of health-wise. I think he is just literally taking his retirement seriously, and maybe he just doesn't want to be on public display. He's had his fill, and that is perfectly fine by me. William, when Catherine and William did a little bit of a walkabout at the church, they were asked by someone in the crowd how the Duke of Edinburgh was, and William replied, "Very good, thanks." So I believe the Duke of Edinburgh is in fine health. The Queen arrived, of course, as usual, by chauffeur-driven car. She was with a female companion, because obviously the Duke of Edinburgh was not with her. And she was wearing tan. It was all kind of this lovely tan outfit. It had a kind of fur-lined trim in the same colour tan. And she wore, of course, a matching hat, which looked really stunning. She looks really, really well rested, I thought. And that was kind of it. Princess Anne and her husband did also attend. But no other, no other real attendances. I think most of the royals are probably not at Sandringham this week. There was no sightings of Harry and Meghan. We do not know the exact location or whereabouts of Harry and Meghan. Perhaps we should have them tagged so we know where they are at all times by GPS location. No, I think it's probably good that we don't know where they are, so that they can have enjoyed some of their Christmas time and also the New Year. I think the last reports were that they were possibly on holiday somewhere, although I'm not so sure about an abroad holiday. Certainly the Middletons are on holiday, but I probably would think that Harry and Meghan are more than likely at their Cotswolds property, just enjoying a little bit of downtime before they hit the ground running with other royal engagements. So yes, I think a little bit of downtime for them. Yes, William and Catherine traditionally do host a shooting weekend for friends at Sandringham at the start of the new year to celebrate Catherine's birthday. Now, Catherine's birthday is on the 9th of January, so whether they've had this traditional shooting party yet, I do not know. I haven't heard any reports that it's happened, only that they have in previous years held it and that it's likely to come up. So as soon as I hear any more on that, either whether they've had it or not, of course I will bring you that information. Lots of people are commenting on the recycled outfit. I don't think you could call a second wear a recycled outfit. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm being too practical. A few service details from today. The service lasted for 52 minutes. The Queen is known for not liking too much of a long service. So that I'm sure 52 minutes was perfect. The service was conducted by the rector, Reverend Jonathan Riviere. I'm sure that's how you say his name, Riviere, Riviere. As I said, Princess Anne and Sir Timothy Lawrence were also in attendance. Charles and Camilla were absent. They always go to Scotland for New Year. They stay at their home in Birkhall on the Balmoral estate. We saw Charles this week at an engagement. Camilla possibly still recovering from her heavy cold. We believe that they are both still based in Scotland at the moment. Of course, they spent Hogmanay there, which is the Scottish New Year. So that's kind of all the information that we have from church at Sandringham. Now, of course, in these live pop-up videos, I can't show you photos, and all of the photos that were taken that are online are press photographs. So if you're seeing them in other videos, you shouldn't be. Those channels are probably breaking copyright because they do not have permission. So what I will do is, once this video has gone live, I will put in the description a link to the photographs. So do go and take a look at them, open them in a new window, and then come back to the comment section and comment on the outfits or whatever you want to. I think that's probably the best way of doing this sort of engagement from now on. Now, I nearly flipped my fan, it nearly fell off. Now, we get to the Harry and Meghan stuff. I know a lot of you are desperate to get there, so shall we? How are we doing for time? Oh, we're fine for time, that's fine. Let's talk about, and I've called this section, Baby Sussex Title and Style, or Styles and Title, whichever you want to talk about it. Now, it is pretty laid out in kind of royal law, so to speak, if you want to call it that. Basically, it all stems back to King George V, who, in 1917, made a declaration to limit the HRH and Prince and Princess styles and titles to all children of the monarch's sons. Okay, so all children of... I've tried to make this as simple as I possibly can because it can be complicated. So, all the children of the monarch's... all the monarch's sons' children can have the style and title of HRH and Prince or Princess. Any other great-grandchildren of the monarch have to be granted the title by the monarch. So that is, of course, the Queen. Lady Louise Windsor is technically entitled, but with discussions between the Queen and her parents, they decided it's probably best just to style as Lady Louise Windsor or Lady Louise Mountbatten Windsor. So technically, James Viscount Severn and Lady Louise are entitled to be called Prince and Princess and HRH. That is their birthright. Should they wish to claim it when they're older, I think it would be their choice to do so. But for now, it's Lady Louise Windsor and James Viscount Severn. So it kind of depends upon what the parents want as well. Now, in December 2012, when Catherine was pregnant with Prince George, the Queen made a change to King George V's declaration. So she issued letters patent, and letters patent are what the Queen can do legally herself without going to Parliament. I think that's probably the easiest way of describing them. So she issued letters patent to declare that all children of William and Catherine are to be HRH and Prince or Princess, which is why George, Charlotte and Louis are HRH and Prince and Princess. Now this is where we get to Harry and Meghan's baby. Let's call it Baby Sussex. So, because of these letters patent by George V, technically speaking, until Prince Charles is king himself, any children of Harry and Meghan will not be HRH or Prince or Princess. So, there's one or two options. The Queen can either choose to step in and issue another letters patent to declare that all children, children of the Prince of Wales's children, so all grandchildren of the Prince of Wales, will be HRH or Prince and Princess. She could do that, or she might not do it. If she doesn't do it, if the Queen doesn't step in, then if the Sussexes have a boy, that boy is likely to be known as the Earl of Dumbarton, which is a courtesy title which he would be granted because Harry's secondary title is the Earl of Dumbarton. So, if it's a boy, possibly the Earl of Dumbarton would be the title. If it's a girl, she would be known as Lady, whatever the first name they decide, Mountbatten Windsor, very much in the same style as Lady Louise Windsor. Well, when I looked at Lady Louise Windsor, technically it's Lady Louise Mountbatten Windsor, but she goes by Lady Louise Windsor. It gets slightly complicated, but it's whatever they kind of prefer to go by. So basically, it's up to the Queen. If the Queen steps in, she could make them HRH and Prince and Princess. It's within her gift to do it. However, this is where it gets even more complicated. So, as soon as Prince Charles becomes the king, then automatically any children of Harry and Meghan would be HRH and Prince and Princess, because they would be the grandchildren of a reigning monarch. So there we go. So basically, the Queen can step in and sort of do the inevitable early, or she could just let things take their natural course, and Harry and Meghan's children would be HRH and Prince or Princess anyway. Now, when it gets to that point, Harry and Meghan could have a discussion with Prince Charles as to whether they want that to happen or not. So, again, it's up to that discussion and that dialogue between monarch and son. So, I hope I've explained that as simply as I possibly can. It can be quite a big, complicated, drawn-out procedure. Let me see what you're saying. Let me know if you understood what I was saying. Julie says, yes, the titles are complicated. And Margaret says, I think the Queen should grant the title now, since they will be a prince and princess eventually. Yes, that is there. It will happen to them eventually. You are quite right. Ristus says, great explanation. I really did try to make it as simple as I possibly could. I really did. Cindy says, well done. Yes, thank you so much if you understood that. Because explaining that kind of thing is quite tricky. Okay, lots of people saying thank you, and that you did understand it, so that's really, really good. Again, Kimberly, I kind of just answered that. What if Harry and Meghan don't want the children to have titles? They could potentially refuse in discussion and open dialogue with the Queen, if that was what they wanted. But obviously, we have no word on that officially. I'm just going by what is laid out officially in UK law, actually. Now, the third subject of this video is, where might Meghan have the baby? Now, I spoke about this in my live chat yesterday, so if you watched my live chat, I apologise. I'm going to be regurgitating and repeating myself. So, a new option has kind of been thrown into the mix by people and the media, which of course is Frimley Park, where Lady Louise Windsor and James Viscount Severn were born. Sophie Wessex had her children at Frimley Park, which is a really good hospital, and Sophie Wessex sang the praises of the hospital following complications with childbirth. They did an amazing job. So it is a really, really good hospital. It is in Surrey, which is incredibly close to Windsor. So the other option is the Lindo Wing, where Catherine had her children. Now, this is where we get into kind of muddled waters, and I will categorically say, nobody knows for sure where Meghan is going to have the baby. It is complete speculation all around. So what we can do, in the absence of actual knowledge and facts, is to discuss the likelihoods of things. Now, to have a baby at Frimley Park in Surrey, close to Windsor, you would be expecting that maybe Meghan and Harry would be in Frogmore Cottage. As we know, Frogmore Cottage is being renovated. It is a Grade 1, I do believe, listed building. It is an old building that requires extensive renovation. Let me put it simply, it is a huge project. I know from renovating my own home, which is a cottage which is 1850 itself, I know how long it took to renovate and all the different problems that can crop up that you don't foresee. Also, this isn't a listed building that I'm in. They have a listed building. Harry and Meghan are in a listed building. You have to jump through so many hoops, planning consents, everything. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the council and the English Heritage are probably going to be making them return the property to the original footprint, with exception to the additions of the 2 new orangeries, because they like to conserve the original layouts of the property. Of course, the property was split up into what's believed to be 5 different units. We don't know when that work began, so we don't know how far ahead they are. However, I don't believe that the cottage will be ready in time for the birth of baby Sussex. I certainly don't think Harry and Meghan will be in the cottage by then. So to me, that kind of knocks Frimley Park out of the water. And when I say I don't think the cottage is going to be ready, please, please, please believe me and trust me on this one. You can hold me to account if I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong on this one. I know I'm not wrong on this one. I have my reasons as to why I know I'm not wrong on this one. I can't tell you what they are. I'm sorry, I really can't. But I do know that the cottage will not be ready by the birth. And we think the birth is going to be round about April, end of March, April. I think somewhere squarely in the middle of April because of the birthstone ring. Who remembers the birthstone ring from Australia with the diamond in the middle, which was a big clue to me. That clue says to me April, and I don't think they would have gone as far as to have a diamond in the middle if it could have been either or with the months. So I think it's squarely in the middle of April. So trust me on this one. I don't think Frimley Park is even on the radar at the moment. I think that is just speculation and paper talk. What is more likely is I'm going to stick by my first choice, which is what I've always said, and I think it's probably going to be the Lindo wing, which is where Catherine had her children. I know other people are talking about home births and all different kinds of births, but the Lindo wing is very accommodating of alternative births as well. You know, if Meghan wanted a birthing pool, if she wanted a holistic birth, or whatever birth she wants, the Lindo wing can accommodate it. The Lindo wing is arguably one of the best hospitals to be having a baby in the world. I watched a program, it was a year in the life of the Lindo wing, and it is an amazing place. They treat you literally like royalty, and on this program, people were booking themselves in from China to come to the Lindo wing because of its reputation. Believe me, if I was pregnant and I was in Meghan's position, I would not be passing up the Lindo wing. It is the best of the best. And like I say, I don't think Frogmore is going to be ready in time. So I believe that they will be at Kensington Palace, Nottingham Cottage, at the time of the birth. So please trust me on that one. You can hold me to account if I'm wrong, but the information I have, which I cannot reveal where it's from, but trust me, Frogmore will not be ready by the time of the birth. It is a huge undertaking that they're doing. It's not one of these like 60-minute makeover shows where, you know, you get a whole house built in a week. Major renovation work and conservation. So please trust me on that one. So I'm thinking the forerunner is going to be the Lindo wing. There we go. Alicia says, I can't wait for baby Sussex. I don't think any of us can. And really interesting on whatever name they would choose. Cheryl says, you're the best. Well, thank you so much. Please trust me on that one. Literally. Lots of people saying can't wait for baby Sussex. Lots of people agreeing April. I know some people think March. Lots of people saying hello. Okay. Nicole says, I believe you. Please do. please do. What are we doing for time? We're fine for time. Kimberly says, what about Meghan being given the National Theatre patronage? Well, there was news about that as well. I wasn't going to include a fourth thing in this video, but seeing as you've mentioned it, I may do it in a separate video another day anyway. So it won't hurt to just recap, will it? So Meghan hasn't officially been given that patronage yet. It's still just paper talk. It's still just speculation. Meghan did have talks with people involved with that charity. And of course, we know that she attended an engagement at the Royal Variety charity nursing home. We all remember that, where she was talking to the lady about her bump and feeling very pregnant. Nothing has actually been announced yet that she's been taking it on. We do think that the Queen is gearing up for another round of giving off some of these patronages, of which she has probably held for a very large amounts of years. It's believed that she is patron of round about 600 charities. I think it's probably about time to maybe offload some of them. And I think the National Theatre isn't a really good fit for Meghan with her acting background. I think, as was shown with the nursing home visit, she can relate to those people. And I think being able to relate to whichever charity you are involved with, whichever charity you are patron of, is a good thing. So I think it would be a really, really good fit, but nothing official yet. So watch this space. Again, I think we will probably see a lot more in the way of what Meghan is going to be doing, what direction she's going to be going in. But I think we can pretty much guess. You know, it's going to be the arts involving, you know, theatre, acting, possibly music. I think we're going to see the empowerment and education of women coming to the forefront of her endeavours. I also think kind of helping minority groups as well, I think is probably going to be something that's going to be high on her agenda. But time will tell. We will find out. Verna thinks the baby is coming in February. My goodness, that would be early. Oh, but there is one other thing to say about baby Sussex. Babies come when they are ready. So we can speculate as much as we want, but if baby wants to come early or baby wants to come late, baby will come when baby's ready. Oh, yes, Sweet Serenity. There is a story about, that Suits want Meghan to come back for one final episode. That's not going to happen. Meghan is not going to be returning to Suits for any amount of episodes. That is done. Meghan has a new role now, which, you know, arguably is, well, it is. It's the biggest role of her life. You know, she is helping people. That is, you know, far a bigger role than what she's ever had before. And a bigger platform. She has a bigger world stage now than what Suits ever gave her. You know, being royal, having this platform, being able to help people is the biggest thing that she's ever had. Sorry, my battery is low, so I will have to go soon. I'll just finish off about this. It's the biggest role she's ever had, the biggest platform, and also, you know, this kind of job draws upon all the skills and the acting skills and the presentation skills and the oratory skills that she's learned from being an actress. She can use all of those skills in the role that she does now. So do I think that she's really missing out on being on a film set or at the TV set? No, because she's kind of doing very much a similar thing every day. You know, she's got photographs, she's got cameras on her the whole time, she's got newspapers writing about her, she's got, you know, everything that she had before and more. So do I think she's going to return to Suits? No. She will carry on going forward like she always has done. I don't think she's going to look back. She can be reflective, but I don't think she's going to look back. She's going to carry on going forward. She's going to launch herself into having baby Sussex and also planning all of her new projects, which I think we'll see a little bit of a kick-off before baby's born, but I think after maternity we will then see a really big ramping up of what Meghan is going to be doing in terms of work. And I am going to leave it here. So, one more thing. My weekly vlog is going to go live. Well, it's going to premiere in how long? In 3 hours' time. So, oh no, I think I've frozen. Have I frozen? If you can still hear my voice, my weekly vlog is going to premiere in 3 hours time at 12 AM GMT. So please join me for that. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So until next time, from me in Shropshire, goodbye.